Most people, when asked, would say that they have never committed a felony. And I would agree that most people have not committed a robbery and a shooting like I did just after my 18th birthday. However, especially in certain states, there are a lot of charges that people may not realize are felonies, that they may have committed without realizing they committed a felony. The first and the most obvious sets of statutes are going to be drug offenses. And a lot of states have moved towards decriminalization or even legalization, but people don't realize the fine print when it comes to distribution. People think, oh, if you're selling kilos of whatever. No, if you share with someone, if you pass a joint to someone, if you share anything you have with someone, that is distribution. You have committed the offense of distribution, which in many states, especially depending on the drug, can be a felony offense. The second set of offenses is going to be stealing or borrowing. And a lot of people get indignant. They say, well, I've never shoplifted anything. I've never stolen anything. This doesn't apply to me. What they don't realize is if you borrow something without explicit permission, that can be a felony offense. Say you and your neighbor are on really good terms and you borrow each other's tools or trucks or whatever all the time, but if you go over there without explicit permission and you borrow a tool that happens to be above the statutory limit for a felony, you have just committed a felony. Because for the felony statutes, you do not have to have the intent to permanently deprive someone. You don't have to have the intention of taking it, not giving it back. Even if you were intending to give it back, if they choose to prosecute it, you could be convicted of a felony. The third set of offenses, and I'm going to lump these in together, is white-collar crimes because they're often not considered very serious, but they could be felonies under certain conditions. So have you ever lied about your taxes or not reported income or gotten paid and just kind of left that to the side? Have you ever kind of fudged the numbers a little bit? Well, depending on the details, you may have committed a felony. Or have you ever downloaded music illegally or downloaded movies illegally or programs illegally? Have you ever operated software without a license? Have you ever done any of those things? Because again, over a certain dollar amount, you may have committed a felony. And the reason this is interesting is some of the most powerful people in this country are going to be judges and also especially district and commonwealth attorneys because they get to choose what laws they enforce and how. So say you do get caught for a serious crime, you get caught for a robbery, you get caught for a drug distribution, caught for whatever, well, they can choose to charge you to the max of the law, they can choose to drop all the charges entirely, or somewhere in between. And the same goes for those white-collar crimes, or those drug distribution crimes, or those more minor crimes you may not think of. You happen to catch them on a bad day, you happen to make them angry, they might say, okay, we're going to charge you to the max, and we're going to plead you out, but we're still going to make you plead to a felony.